GM. GM. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Another little garden talk for you guys. Today's topic is a good one, and I'm going to frame it for the mindset of a golfer, which most of you know I'm an avid golfer. I love it. Can't get enough. And the subject of discussion is going to be positive framework and mental reframing. And what I mean by that is everybody knows someone or has experience where if they're not performing well and they start to struggle a bit, and maybe it's physical performance, maybe it's mental errors, maybe it's just stress in general, but they start feeling very frustrated and they begin to get really down on themselves. The negative self-talk starts to seep in. You're shit. You suck. Man, I'm not cut out for this. That sort of thing. And I listened to a clip recently, and it was Rory McIlroy. And those of you that follow golf know that he's had a very successful career, but not only his career, but more recently his tournament win. And when getting interviewed about what he went through and his mental processes, he was asked a question where I believe his hole one, he started out with a double bogey, and the interviewer made that comment to him, and Rory quickly showed why he's been able to achieve such great success by reframing a negative immediately into something positive, into something optimistic. And when he was asked why, how he felt about double bogeying the first hole, Rory immediately said, "Oh, well, Jon Rahm double bogeyed the first hole in 2017 and still won the tournament." And he's like, that's immediately what I thought about when I knocked in that putt. And that is such a beautiful way to reverse course, to change the direction that your momentum is headed towards. And using your positive thoughts and mental reframing, you should be aware of this in your daily life. If you ever find yourself struggling in communication, or if you find yourself, struggling with just some sort of issue or problem or something that's not going your way, take the positives of it. Take what's good and healthy and empowering and move the entire frame into that, where let's say, for instance, you're working on a project. You're doing something on your car. You're working on your car, and you've taken it apart and you've put the whole thing back together, and you missed a step, and you have to take it apart all again. And instead of getting frustrated and pissed and quitting, you reframe it as, wow, well, you know what? At the end of all this, I'm going to be the master of this progress, or this project. And I'm going to be able to do this forward and backwards, basically blindfolded, because I know the ins and outs, I know the guts. So you're immediately taking a negative, like, oh, I screwed up, I fucking missed a step. And you're saying, oh, well, now I get to learn it even more. Now I get to understand it even more. Now I'm going to be able to teach it. Now I'm going to be able to dissect it mentally, and I'm going to have a greater understanding, and my intuition is growing. And that mental shift of something where it's a fuck up and you turn it into a win, you will see a significant improvement in all things around the success of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. So that mental reframing of what you think was a problem, or what you think is an issue, or what you think is trouble or a bad scenario, immediately try and reframe it and put it into a perspective where you're taking the good out of it. And I think this is especially important when you're doing things that are very serious. I mean, the serious competition, things like trading, for instance, investing, and if you have a downfall, and let's say you get margin called, or you just everything was set up, and you caught a bad break on the news, and something happened, and the stock tumbled, and you lost a lot of money. Well, you can sulk and quit and be upset, but ultimately, if you immediately recognize that, holy cow, like, I can reframe this. Did I follow my system? Did I make a good trade? Did I have my stop losses in place? If those things are yes, and you did the right things along the way, it's not a total disaster. It's a learning moment, and everything is taken in stride, and you'll know not to make those mistakes again in the future, hopefully. But I mean, every trader and every golfer and every person who does anything serious, they've experienced a very negative outcome, and when they've been in the heat of battle, or they're in the trenches and they're going through something super negative, be as though you're still succeeding, you're still moving forward, you're still gaining knowledge, you're gaining valuable insight, which is going to allow you to succeed when you get there next time. And it's just such a great experience, especially if you've ever played anything at a tournament level or championship level and you didn't win. You look at the greatest of all time in any sport, in any game. You look at the Tom Brady's or the Michael Jordans or the Wayne Gretzky's or whoever, and you see that they made it to the championship game a lot before they really started to have success in the Super Bowl, or winning the ring, or taking it down. And it took some heavy losses at that level to humble them, to take those lessons, to positively reframe their performance and come back stronger, come back better, not fall into the same habits, or not fall into the same situation that they did when they were there once before, and ultimately take down a victory.